Jacqueline, we get ready for round two once again as the mercury continues to climb across western Oregon, prompting that weather alert day today. And we do it all over again tomorrow after daytime highs have managed to climb up into the upper 90s through the valley locations, closer to 100 degrees to the further south you go, and 60s, mid 60s found out along the coast as the National Weather Service keeps a mosaic of colors painted across our map. Taking a live look over a very wet New Orleans tonight as they prepare for Hurricane Ida. The storm is now a Category 1 storm as it enters the Gulf of Mexico tonight. Storm system number 1 that's already moving on shore. It's storm system number 2 that's going to play the biggest role in that flooding potential, not giving us enough time to absorb the water that storm number 1 is going to put on the ground as storm number 2 moves in within just several hours of storm number 1. Definitely still very toasty across western Oregon, and we're going to see much of the same as we move into tomorrow. But I want to take note of the smoke and haze. You can see it very clearly behind me, or maybe not so clearly as far as the southern hills go. And all of these sites have really been seen within about the past hour, so at least that's when the phone calls started to stream into our newsroom here at Oregon's News. I want to take one more look at it. I think though we can rule out maybe a UFO with this because it does look like debris breaking up, whether that be a meteor or actually the SpaceX. Now the National Weather Service, they went ahead in Seattle and tweeted out, while we await further confirmation on the details, here's the unofficial information we have so far. Reed also tells us they expect to see a big ramp up in the fire conditions as the live fuels, all of those grasses, start to dry out. And Jacqueline, that's really going to be our biggest concern moving forward over the next several months. But it's great news that the rain chances, they do start to increase tomorrow. Have you been checking your phone app? You shouldn't be checking the weather there because it's showing snow on Friday. Not likely. It's just too far out to really determine that possibility. We're watching our weather models here very closely. The GFS here indicating that the green, that's the rainfall through the I-5 corridor and the coast, as the forecasted European model shows the snow getting a little bit closer to the valley locations, but still showing that green blip over the Umpqua Valley, an indication of still rain. We'll continue to monitor this over the next several days. So our snow panic meter, it's back in full force. I'm indicating that no panic is needed because I really don't think we will see any snowfall as our daytime highs return to the 40s and 50s tomorrow. We now look at Tropical Depression Ida. So it's been updated as of late, and you can definitely still see the widespread swath of cloud coverage where wind speeds right now are clocking in at about 35 miles per hour. It's expected to continue to track its way through the Mississippi River Valley for just a bit before it takes more of an easterly track, taking aim at much of New England. That's going to be into the middle part of the work week. Jacqueline, a lot of folks across western Oregon calling in and asking, is this a new fire? Thankfully, it is not. It's one of our fires that has been burning in parts of Lane County. But the reason that looks a little bit more intense today is all due to something that's called an inversion, or the lack thereof. So here's the breakdown. And to celebrate here, I brought our weather dog, Rocky, here. And boy, was it just a beautiful day across western Oregon to maybe take out your four-legged friend on a walk. Yeah, it's definitely chilly out here, and you can see behind me just the widespread snowfall. Again, you got to keep in mind that our station's at an elevation of about 1,300 feet or so. So sites like these not actually being seen through the downtown Eugene area, or as a matter of fact, not even the Umpqua Valley. But a rain snow mix still a possibility tonight with just a few light flurries falling at this elevation. Let's just zoom in and take a closer look at exactly what our radar and satellite is demonstrating. The swings, they've been out in the sunshine all day long. So not only are the air temperatures up into the 90s, but if we actually take a reading of the temperature of the actual plastic, it's 122 degrees. Definitely want to check those seats or any of the playground equipment over the next little while. Maybe if you're heading out to a park tomorrow, you want to do it in the early morning hours and late in the evening because we're not shaking the heat just yet. I do have in our forecast the chance for some rain showers and cooler temperatures. We'll discuss those in just a few minutes. This is just the pre-show to the main event that we'll see moving into the weekend. Eugene's all-time daytime high record threatened to 108, set in 1981. Our forecasted high Sunday, 107. So no one in the southern Willamette Valley is escaping the excessive heat. That means we all need to play our part in staying safe and cool through the weekend. Reporting in Eugene, meteorologist Josh Cozart. How can you not love such a cute little face like this? Jacqueline, I know you and I own dogs, but These cats, they're tempting. I'm telling you, adoption's available right now at Green Hill Humane Society.
Welcome back to the desk.
I know, because our set's so new, I haven't actually been able to stand here, and now COVID kind of washing away. So we're in the clear to stand next to each other.
Yeah, we are in the clear. It's so exciting. Nice to have you back.
Yes. Haven't been able to do that in a while. Jacqueline, David, yeah, it's definitely kind of an oddity here across Western Oregon, something we don't typically see. Not hail, but GRAUPEL, and this is how it forms. It, of course, starts off as a snowflake high up in the atmosphere, and as it continues to fall towards the surface, it falls through a layer of supercooled water. So that's water that's below 32 degrees, but still liquid. It freezes onto that snowflake called rime, and then it ends up resulting in just a tiny white pellet that bounces very easily on the surface. But unlike hail, they're a lot softer, and you can easily crush them with your fingers. So that's what we saw across Western Oregon. You can see it here with our time-lapse view. So here's the breakdown. High thin cirrus clouds well up into our atmosphere are so cold, the water molecules are, that they freeze, and they're shaped hexagonally. You can see that here as they float in the sky. And when we get that sunlight to shine through those ice crystals, it refracts and it becomes a bit of a rainbow event, creating what looks to be a perfect circle right around the sun. And sometimes it happens right around the moon as well.
And now weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Cozart.
Beneficial rain has been a welcome sight across Western Oregon as of the past several days. Of course, we can do without the damaging winds and the flooding conditions, but let's take a look at yesterday's rainfall totals right here in the middle, upwards of 1.5 inches out along the coast. That helps to put us back to just about average for much of our coastal communities for the month of January so far. But with all of that runoff, we are still keeping a very close eye on those river levels. The Willamette River in Eugene, expecting to see another peak come Friday due to more rain chances that will be returning to our region. The MCKENZIE River near VIDA, that's where we've already seen our peak earlier in the day, now starting to recede, but we'll see a secondary peak once more on Friday as we near about 5 feet, but nonetheless nothing to be concerned about, with a beautiful time-lapse view over those freshly powdered Cascade Peaks looking off to the east outside the Eugene-Springfield area. We will continue to see those snow chances once we get another burst of moisture moving through Western Oregon, but that was not the case today with those sunny skies, warming us well above our average, nearly 60 degrees in the Eugene-Springfield area, 61 degrees for the Umpqua Valley. That's where we find ourselves holding a new record for Roseburg. The old record, 59 degrees, last set back in 2011. Radar and satellite showing calm, quiet, clear conditions. Just a bit of noise popping up with that light green pushing its way onshore at this hour, but we are still monitoring flood warnings, at least for about the next hour or so, up towards Lincoln County, down towards Coos County. That's going to remain through Thursday, with the gray shaded area, Coos and Douglas County included in this. A dense fog advisory, that will be our turn of events as we move into the overnight hours tonight. High pressure, though, that's what kept us on the dry side today, moving its way further to the south, allowing for our latest cold front to march its way closer to the shoreline. Of course, this is going to be a weakening system, bringing us just a few isolated raindrops come Friday. With clearing skies tomorrow, of course, that's going to be above the fog layer that's going to be kind of slow to dissipate tomorrow, despite our model forecast showing mostly sunny skies. We will see mostly cloudy conditions for much of Western Oregon for much of the day tomorrow, but Friday, that's when those light rain showers have the possibility to just put down a couple of 1/100ths of an inch, so nothing to write home about or nothing to compare to what we saw yesterday. Daytime highs return to those 50s and 60s. The Eugene-Springfield 7-day forecast keeping us into the 50s. That's well above our average of 47 for this time of year. With that long holiday MLK weekend, definitely going to be slightly on the drier side. Clouds move back in for the middle of next week. Coos Bay 7-day forecast keeping us close to the 60-degree mark tomorrow. It's going to be nice out there with a bit of sunshine poking through. Our average or normal 51 this time of year. The Umpqua Valley 7-day forecast keeping us once more above that average as the sunny skies stay with us more so than not. Don't go anywhere. KVAL News at 5. We'll be right back after this.